Welcome to part 4 of Thumbnail Psychology, a 5-part mini-series where I show you how to turn your ugly thumbnails into something like this. In this episode, we're going to be talking about typography and talk about some of the biggest mistakes people make while using text in their thumbnails. I'm Adam. If you want to learn more about YouTube and how to grow your channel, click subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss a video. Now, if you don't know what typography is, it's the art of arranging text or type. It includes in like billboards, books, thumbnails, wherever you put text. It involves the color, the placement, the font, all of that stuff. By now, after the planning phase, you should know whether or not you're planning on using text in your thumbnail. If you aren't planning on using text, make sure you watch the imagery portion because that's extremely vital for you. However, if you're still unsure of whether or not you want to use text in your thumbnails, experiment to see what your audience responds to. You can change up your thumbnail style, check whether your audience likes this kind of thumbnail with text, without, look at what works. Because you look at other channels in your niche, are they using text in their thumbnails? Do they use a mixture? Which of those videos gets the most views? The ones with text, without? Look at what the audience on other channels in your niche responds to. If your target audience is clicking on thumbnails with text, that means other channels in your niche are getting views on their thumbnails with text. Then it's safe to say it's probably useful to include text in your thumbnails. The next thing to consider is, does any other part of your branding use text? That's your logo, your header, your intro bumper, wherever else you have branding, does it include text? That could also be your Instagram profile picture, your Instagram pictures, your Twitter header, all of that stuff. You're probably wondering, what? I'm here to learn about thumbnails. What does any of my other branding have to do with thumbnails? Well, as I mentioned countless times, consistency. And consistency includes your font choice. On average, you should use a maximum of about 3 fonts throughout all of your branding. Now, before you go off making any rash decisions on what fonts you're going to be using, there's something you need to keep in mind first. Your font choice should also reflect the kind of style of videos you make on your channel. If you use a really simple, minimalistic style of font, that also indicates that your videos are probably simple and minimalistic. On the contrary, if you use a big, goofy font or even a horror font, it can indicate your videos are maybe scary or funny or whatever. So kind of think about what 3 words describe your channel's vibe. Is your channel fun, energetic, exciting? Or are you really serious, deep down topics where you go into big discussions? Could it be beauty and fashion? So with whatever list of words you came up with, you can go on websites like The Font, Typekit, other things like that to look at fonts. Lots of websites usually organize their fonts into categories. There's like 20 categories on thefont.com, and explore fonts within those categories. So if you picked fun and exciting, go into the fun category or the exciting category under font and look at the different fonts that are listed there. Don't just think about fonts you want to use on your thumbnails, but think about fonts you want to use on your header and throughout your entire branding. Not just now, but for the future as well. I'll go more in depth into the whole branding side in another video in the future, but for now, we're talking about thumbnails. Try to choose 3 fonts that are kind of in the same font family. For example, you could use a bold font or a heavy font and then a regular size font and experiment with that. Now that you've chosen a font you like or a couple of fonts you like, you should have planned out how you want to arrange your text on your thumbnail, as well as how you want it to be laid out and the location you want the text to be in. Do it to be on the top, bottom, middle, left, right? Where do you want it to be? You should also consider the fact that thumbnails on YouTube are extremely small. You want to make sure your font can be read easily. Another thing to take note of is the timestamp on YouTube. On the bottom right, there's a little box that appears on YouTube that shows how long the video is. You want to be careful because that takes up a portion of your thumbnail. So if you have text there, people won't be able to read it as easily, especially since YouTube thumbnails are extremely small. The next thing to consider is the color of the other elements on your thumbnail. That includes your background, pictures of you, other imagery you've used, all of that stuff. That also includes other branding watermarks you've used on your thumbnail. For example, if you've used a blue background, you do not want your text to be light blue as well. That'll make it extremely difficult, if not impossible, for your viewers to look and read the text on your thumbnail. As you can see, I boxed around my text as well as added drop shadow, other lighting, and effects like that to make sure my text is easily read and unique to my channel. The sizing of your text is also extremely important. Think of your thumbnail like a billboard on the side of a road. Have you ever noticed how there's different sized text on billboards? Which phrase or word in your text is the most important? The phrase that people are probably searching for, the phrase that will catch the most clicks. That should be the biggest. A good example of this is Roberto Blake. In his most popular video with over 1 million views, the text passive income is the biggest text on the page. Above that text, he includes the words 10 ways to make online in significantly smaller sized text. He didn't just accidentally do this, he did it on purpose because he knows what phrase he wants you to see first. Passive income is what you're looking for, it's what you will click on the video for. All other less important text is in smaller size. So always make sure the biggest text is the phrase that your viewers are eagerly looking for. So that way you know exactly what you'll get out of Roberto Blake's video and it grabs your attention. Another thing to note is simplicity. Simple is usually the best way to go when it comes to thumbnails and your branding. Keep your colors simple, keep the phrase you're using simple. You do not want to use long phrases or multiple sentences taking up tons of screen real estate. Keep the phrase to a minimum, as little text to give across your message as possible. So focus on a couple of words that will compel your viewers into clicking on your video. Also, don't use too many fancy fonts unless it suits your brand style. Simplicity not only makes it easier on you to create your thumbnails, but it also makes it easier on the viewers to understand them. Question time: do you use all the same fonts in all of your thumbnails, or do you just wing it as you go along? Let me know in the comments below. Congratulations, you completed part 4 of this mini-series. Only one more part left. Make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss it coming up. It's going to close up the whole series and tell you exactly what you can do to make thumbnails as quick as possible. If this video has helped you and you want to continue attacking the struggles you face on YouTube, click subscribe by hitting the circle over there, and click one of the videos below to continue learning about YouTube and the ways you can grow your channel. Once again, thank you for watching. Have an awesome day.